crochet friends, it's me, Jonah, and in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a fun but surprisingly lightweight baby blanket. And it's the Bernat Tippy Toes crochet blanket, and oh, I love this baby blanket for several reasons. Number one, it's because it's thick, but it's also very light and airy. And for a super bulky 6, that is a gorgeous drape. Number two, you can make it in any colors you'd like, and it's a very easy self-striping yarn you could use. And another thing is, it's a 2-row repeat. And then after that row, you just find that it shifts over and keeps shifting over. So it's a 2-row repeat with slight shifts. So it's very simple. And lastly, it's actually an easy stitch. It's not quite beginner level, but I would consider it easy because all you need to know are chain, single crochet, and double crochet, and I'll take you through the rest. And you also may notice a slight shimmer when it hits the light, and that's because I'm using the Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle, which is relatively new, and it's the same Bernat Baby Blanket that we all know and love, except it has a sparkle added in for some extra fun. And then I'm also using a Furls crochet hook. This is a size P, 10 millimeter. It's the Virgo swirl. And then you'll need a pair of scissors and the pattern, which I'll have linked to down below, and I'll also link to this Furls hook down below. Let's get started. So here I have my blanket, and if I lift it up here, of course you can see that beautiful drape, and if I set my hook down, look, the squish. Oh, it's such a nice baby blanket. There's nothing that there's not to love, because you can completely customize it to your own colors. But if you take a look at here, you can see some basic shells, just 5 double crochets, which lots of us may know, and if you don't know, I'll take you through it. But then you also have some double crochet crisscrosses here to add a little spice, and then some chains and some single crochets just to create a little more open spacing. But other than that, it's a very tight woven blanket with a little airiness just for a nice extra loft and squish. And if I move it up a little bit, you can see down here, we just start with the chain, nothing fancy, and then I like to single crochet over it at the end. So I'm going to fold this up and set it to the side. And I'm going to take my Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle, and I'll just be using one color for today's demonstration, but you can change your colors as you go. I'm going to pull out some yarn. And you're going to start with the slip knot. I'm not going to get too into the basics of each stitch and how to do it because this is for an easy level. This is not a beginner. But just to recap, a slip knot, hold a tail down here, make an X, go over, scoop under, grab it, pull both strands tight, pull the longer one. And now if I pull out the actual pattern, you can see that there's actually a stitch diagram provided by us from your inspirations, but then there's also the written text if you learn better that way. But today I'll follow the stitch diagram so you can learn how to do that if you'd like. So I'll just be making my sample this size today, so that'll be 4 shells across on the first row. So that means I'm going to begin by chaining 26. If you're making the baby blanket size, you will chain 80. If you're just making a scarf or a small sample like me, chain 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 26. So here's our chain. It would make a nice super scarf if you just make your chain kind of tight so that it has a nice flat edge. And now if you pull back in the stitch diagram, we're starting from this side, working this direction, so we'd start with a single crochet, and then skip 2 chains, work 5 double crochet, skip 2 chains, single crochet, skip 2, 5 double crochet, skip 2 single crochet. So I'm going to skip this first chain from my hook and single crochet into the next chain. And then I'm going to skip the next 2 chains and work 5 double crochets into that. And to recap, if you don't remember or are not familiar, a double crochet is where you yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you're going to want to have 5 of these double crochets in total. Then you're going to work a single crochet after skipping 2 chains. So you can see when you skip 2 chains, it gives you a relatively flat edge, but it's not perfect. So that's why I prefer to single crochet over mine, but you can make that decision when the times come. I single crocheted after skipping 2 chains, so I skipped 2 chains again, and now I'm working 5 double crochets. Skip 2 chains and single crochet, and you can already see that this is a squishy fabric. If I turn it, you can see it's thick and dense, but it's not heavy. Skip 2 chains, work a shell stitch, which is 5 double crochets, four and 5, and then I'm going to single crochet, work another shell of 5 double crochets, and all of these are with 2 chains in between, and that's what gives you a relatively smooth edge on the bottom to apply a border onto. Last double crochet, and then if you did your math correctly and you had a correct chain count, then your last single crochet should end up in this chain right here, right at the end. Just go in that bump, work a single crochet, and those are 4 shells. Now I'm going to take my yarn ball and just grab a nice chunk and pull it off and set that to the side. And now it's time to look at what our next row will be. So our next row starts with the chain 3 double crochet, chain 1 single crochet, chain 1 crisscross, chain 1 single crochet, chain 1 crisscross, and cross. So I'm going to start by turning my work, and I would do that by taking this end over here on the right hand side and putting it to the left side. Then I would chain up 3 and work a double crochet into this first single crochet. Then you're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the middle of these double crochets. So go to the 3rd one and single crochet right at the top. And then chain 1, and this is where you're going to make your crisscross. So you'll skip over all of these stitches here and come right to the first double crochet of your next shell and work a double crochet. And then you're going to chain 1 and make another double crochet, but you're coming back to this stitch. And you're not going to work over it, you're just going to work in front of it. So you're going to come back like this, just angle your hook back, go through that stitch and come out the front here, pull back, and work your double crochet. So you can see these stitches are not together. They're separate, but this one is crossing in front of the other one. Then you're going to chain 1 again and work a single crochet in the top of these double crochets. Then you're going to chain 1 and work a double crochet into the next group, and then you're going to chain 1 and come back to the double crochet of your last group and work a crisscross double crochet, but ensuring that your work comes to the front. So I'm going to chain 1 again, single crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, crisscross my double crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the top, and now we're at the end of our row. It's time to chain 1 and work 2 double crochets into this single crochet right over here. 1 and 2. So now if we flatten it down, you can already see the texture coming up and how it kind of wants to just tip up slightly and go back down, and that adds to the loftiness, the shape, and the squish. So now we're going to flip our work, come over from the right hand and put it over to the left. And the next row, which starts on the right hand side, is 3 double crochets, single crochet, shell, single, shell, single, shell, single, 3 double crochets. So we're going to chain up 1, and then 2, and then 3. Then we're going to work 2 double crochets into that first stitch. And that'll count as 3 because this chain 3 right here counts as a double crochet. And next, into my previous single crochet right here, I'll work another single crochet. And then in between these crisscross stitches is a chain right here. I'll yarn over my hook and work 5 double crochets into that chain right in between them. And that'll help spread it out and make the fabric a little more breathable, but also give it another element of the crisscross texture. And we need 1 more. And then we're going to skip straight ahead and put a single crochet in the next single crochet. And repeat that. 5 double crochets into the center of the next crisscross. That's number 3. That's number 4. And that's number 5. Then work a single crochet, and then work 5 more double crochets into the next crisscross section. Three, 4, and 5. And then you're going to single crochet into your single crochet. And now that you're at the end of round 3, you're just going to work 3 double crochets into the top of this chain 3. I like to go under 2 loops. That gives you a nicer edge. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet. So now I'm going to set down my work. Take a moment and pull out some more yarn. And now you can see here, it's nice on this side, but on this side, it looks even better because this is the side where you actually have your texture. You can kind of push your shells out in the back to make it more pronounced, but this is where you're actually going to get your texture. So I've already turned for my next row. And this row starts with a chain 1, and a single crochet into your first double crochet, so right here, which keeps everything nice, even, and straight. Then I'm going to chain 1 again. And this is similar to row 2, except we're shifting everything slightly over. Then we're going to hop right over to the next shell's first double crochet right here, and make a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 1. Come back to your first half shell here and work a double crochet, making sure that it comes to the front. See how it's crossed there? Then you're going to chain 1 and come to the top of this double crochet shell, which is right here, and work a single crochet. Then you're going to chain 1, work a double crochet into the start of the next shell, chain 1, work a double crochet into your previous shell, and you're going to continue repeating this pattern of making a cross stitch of double crochets and then a single crochet at the top of each shell. And after this row and then 2 more rows, you'll be able to very clearly see the repeat of this pattern. Chain 1, and now for your last stitch, work a single crochet right into the top of this chain 3. Then you can flatten everything down, and oh my, beautiful edges. Pretty much, we can add a border later if necessary. Pretty straight edge, we can add a border if necessary. But look at this texture. The flexibility, you can turn it, you can move it. It's a functional blanket. It's not too stiff, not too open. But you can still see a little bit of white through the table when I hold it up like this and move it around. But the way it overlaps, it makes it pretty nice and cozy. Let's go through that last 2 rounds one more time to make sure you get a hang of the repeat. Turn your work. And now we're going to chain up 1, put a single crochet into the first single crochet right here. And this is a repeat of the first round all the way down here. See, single crochet, single crochet. Next, we're going to work a shell of 5 double crochets. 2. This is the middle one, which will be number 3. 4. And number 5. So then if we go straight down from number 5 and back down 4 rows, we'll bump into a shell right here. That's because when you do it down here, 4 rows later, you're going to repeat it again. So then you're going to skip right here, these chain, and then you're going to single crochet into this single crochet, which then again, go down 4 rows from here, and we have a single crochet. And then in the next crisscross, we're going to work 5 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch, and then work 5 double crochets into our next opening, and you're going to keep repeating this down the end of your row if you're making a blanket, scarf, pillow, whatever. Single crochet, 5 more double crochets, and then we're ready to finish off this row. So that's number 3. This is going to be number 4 and number 5. So you're going to then single crochet into your last stitch, flatten it down, and take a beautiful look at what you've done so far, and then turn your work. And now this row is going to be a repeat of row 2. And row 2 started with a chain 3 double crochet, so we're going to do the same. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the top of this double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into your first double crochet of this shell, chain 1, and make the cross. Chain 1, work a single crochet, chain 1, work your double crochet cross. Chain 1, work a single crochet, chain 1, make your double crochet cross. And now I bet you can really start seeing that repeat pattern and why I think you should really make this baby blanket and turn it into whatever you'd like, because the multiples are so easy to repeat and the rows are so simple to remember. And if you forget how to do one row, just look down 4 rows and you'll be able to see and look at your stitches and know what you did. There's row 6, and just look at that texture. If I turn it from a side view here, you can really see how it bumps and waves. Oh yeah, this side's even nicer. Look at that. And you can see it kind of consistently puffs up here, here in diagonals, and then it gets more receded in here. So that's how you actually do this stitch, and you can do this for your entire blanket, and it's very simple. But one last thing we're going to do is work across the sides, bottom, and top in single crochet. You would start with the chain 1 and single crochet, and I like to work 2 single crochets into the edges of the double crochet. The single crochet, single crochet. Now here's the edge of a double crochet, so we'll work 2. And then work a single crochet in each of these double crochets down here. A single crochet, single crochet, and there you have that beautifully smooth edge. And now we're going to work across the bottom. So you come to your chain space, and you'll just work 3 to help turn the corner. And then you'll work 1 single crochet, 2, 1 single crochet, 2, 1 single crochet. So whenever you get a space like this between a shell and a single crochet, you're going to work 2. And then whenever you get a space like this, which is an actual single crochet, you'll work 1 into it. And then you'll work 2. And then you'll work 1. And then you'll work 2. And then you'll work 1 again, 2. You can see how it's already filling out that edge. One again, 2, and we're getting to turn it. So we're going to come over here, and into this stitch right here, we're going to skip 1 single crochet, and into the chain space, work 3 to help it round the corner. And then we're going to continue the pattern that I previously showed you up the side, putting 2 single crochets in the ends of the double crochet rows and putting 1 single crochet in the end of the single crochet rows. There we go, and 1 in the last stitch here. And you can kind of pull on it, flatten everything out. But that's what it'll look like. It's that simple to do this stitch and to add a border, and you can add a slip stitch on top of that if you'd like, reverse single crochet, whatever makes your blanket, scarf, whatever you're making look the best. Now that you can see this baby blanket in all of its glory, I hope it's the final thing that convinced you to make this gorgeous, lightweight, soft, squishy, and chenille baby blanket. There's just so many things to love, and Please make sure to check out the link below to the figure and pattern, the link to my website, and the furls hook that I showed you at the start of the video, because they make crocheting super easy, fun, and extremely smooth. And you'll love how that 10mm works up when you're using the blanket yarn. Check out my website, jonahhands.com, for t-shirts, kits, bags, and other, if you're lucky, crochet items. So goodbye and crochet away, friends.